And we're back. Thank you for joining us on Roll for Mischief. We want to make a quick little shout out that we have started both the Discord, and you are more than welcome to look up Roll for Mischief on Discord and get to talking with us. You know, if you just want to comment on the stream, have any questions, have any suggestions, like
And
anything
we're
like
almost
that.
round the clock because I mean Drew's up when we're all sleeping.
Yeah, Drew will have something to say if we're sleeping. For real, for real.
And we
Um,
also have launched our Patreon.
yes,
So yeah, that's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. You can help support us, make more fanciful stories and adventures like we know how to do.
Only
Hell
like
yeah,
only we know how to.
like only we know how to do.
Other people cannot make these fanciful adventures in the way that we can.
So fanciful.
So thank you for
Yeah.
joining the only D&D Twitch stream in the world.
Exactly.
Exactly.
That's not what I said. I said no one else can make them like we do.
We like to have fun here. So I guess we'll transition very quickly over to what we call group therapy. We check in with our characters, see how they're feeling emotionally about the current situation. And since I'm talking, I think I'll just go first with Eigner. Eigner at the moment is really having doubts whether or not this team building exercise in the Silent Sea is actually working out well, because their first endeavor to try and secure what is called a Pearl of Divinity, the first endeavor was very comical, actually. And Eigner, if you've been watching this stream for any amount of time, you understand that Eigner has this desire, this burning need to protect Onn Thenois from himself. And Eigner, as we go on, is going to keep trying to do that. And that's what I have to say about him at the moment.
It's a worthy cause.
It's
I
a
must
worthy
say.
cause.
So, Onn Thenois is feeling pretty good about this, at least certainly in the back of his mind. On is present in the moment. He's thinking about this strange puzzle before them, this altar with three slots, and getting the orbs and getting them back, and the strange riddles that he's had to face thus far. And so he's pretty much concentrating on that to get his mind off something else. A strange revelation occurred during the last session that On let slip by and hasn't said anything about, but he's internalized it and is taking it the wrong way, as On does. So yeah.
Currently, my phone is ringing, but I'm going to talk over it anyway. Eridu is, I think he's feeling pretty good about what's going on as well. It seemed like a moment away is kind of what he's been looking for, given all of the severity, all of the big life changes he's had to deal with recently. I think right now he's going through a situation where his ego is in check, and he's recognizing that sometimes it's important to take a second and really kind of listen, figure out what's actually going on here instead of just acting. And hopefully he will make decisions in the next challenge that do benefit the party a little more, and I'm excited to see where it goes.
Hell yeah. Take it away, Josh.
Yeah, Alton is was worried because they started off the first trial a little rocky, but they finished out strong and beginning the team building process, and so he is a little hopeful now. because whenever Onn just charged into and got beat down, he was super worried. And when everybody kind of after that situation and spending a lot of time on the puzzle and everything, but then everybody kind of came together on the actual puzzle. Then he started to feel a little more confident. Hey, they're starting to get that we can't charge in individually. We have to all work together.
Mm-hmm.
So he was worried about whether or not this was going to be a successful endeavor, and he has started to become a little bit more hopeful that it will be successful. That's it.
Hell yeah. All right, then let's pick up where we left off.
Okay, so you guys dropped off the pearl of life, and at the altar, much to Eigner's frustration, and you have before you two more paths. You have the path, the mountain symbol, and the path with the river symbol, the one for Ind and Hooray. Set before you. So whatever you guys would like to do next is up to you. Alton is following your lead. He wants to, for him, this is his part of his journey here is to be a part of the group and listen to the group, not just do his own thing. So he's taking your guys' lead.
Mm-hmm.
If memory serves, Alton is a worshipper and follower of Hooray.
Uh-huh.
And so I think the decision that we all came to last time was that we would take the other route so that Hooray was left for last, so that if there were any benefits wrought from having a worshipper of Hooray on that path, then it would come to us in an hour of need and help shore up any loss of resources and abilities over time.
Right.
That's
For
the
sure.
hope.
That's the hope, all right.
Right.
As we're back at this little sanctuary area where we've left the first Pearl of Divinity, if the other characters are like gearing up and getting ready to go and discussing the plan, like, okay, we're going to go down the path, like we're going to go to the end one, Eigner's not necessarily paying attention, and he's standing in front of the altar, and his eyes are just completely fixated on the first Pearl of Divinity, and he is just mute and just completely awestruck and in a weird trance almost.
I think Onn is going to perform a lengthy deconstruction of the path that they've just taken and hypothesize about what's about to lie ahead, which will come across as all just mumbles to Eigner, and then put a hand on Eigner's shoulder. Say, what are your thoughts, Eigner?
That will actually scare the shit out of him. And he'll just go like, About what? About what? What now? What?
The path ahead, preparing for it. Do you believe that we're going to face adversaries?
There could be some more crazy wooden men with clubs. And we know how to deal with those.
Quite.
I think all we can do is walk down the path.
I would certainly appreciate your protection. I am still quite winded from our last encounter.
Understandably so. I'll clap you back on the back and say, "You'll be okay, my friend. You'll be okay. You'll be okay."
Do you need any more healing, or do you feel comfortable?
I'm at 50% of my maximum strength, so it might be worth getting some healing if it's going.
We could take a short
You wanna take a short rest?
maybe?
So it's a
Yeah.
very, very specific self-analyzation right there.
50% of my
I
strength.
unlike a lot, okay, so I'm just gonna say for my DM style, you can say how many hit points you have left.
I have 11
Like,
after 22.
Okay, that's fine. I'm just letting you know. Like, I know some DMs are like, you can't save. Oh, that's metagaming. Come on now, just. It's
I just took it as on saying that,
yeah.
not.
I'm just saying in general.
And in
like,
which
if you
case, it
wanna-
seems like a very on thing to do. I'm gonna break the fourth wall without realizing I'm breaking the fourth wall.
Yeah,
All right.
and that's fine.
Double
I just
down
want to
the
let you know from like if any of you guys decide for whatever reason, you can just say, I only have this many hit points left. I only have these many hit points. You can. I'm not gonna that's fine to me. So that's my style.
Okay. So yeah, we can take a short rest. I don't really need one. I'm at a good place right now, but it's probably
Yeah.
a good thing for On.
I am also fine, but while we're short resting, Eridu is going to be just sitting somewhere casually, just taking in all the conversation that everyone is having, and just trying to understand them better.
Good luck with that.
It's like studying your interactions with each other in a very empathetic manner of trying to understand where you're coming from and how he would respond if he was you.
Mm-hmm.
That's not the thing any of you are at all privy to, because you don't know what's inside his head.
Yep.
Fair enough. Well, eventually at some point, Eigner is going to be able to pull himself away from the pearl and maybe clap on the back one more time and say, "How are you, my friend? Feeling all right?"
I am certainly feeling a bit better after the rest. I do seem to find myself in these situations frequently, charging ahead without taking into account all of the variables and factors that might be involved. Upon reflection, that room was fairly dangerous.
It could have ended much worse. It really could have.
You've had a long and eventful adventuring career, have you not, Eigner?
You could say that. Eventful. It's a fair word for it.
How have you found yourself able to survive the many wounds, the slings and arrows thrown in your direction?
There was a time when I had the grace and I had the power to heal myself, heal my own wounds, and be able to heal others. That certainly helped with the adventuring. In recent times, I've had to learn to be more careful, since I don't have that ability anymore. Every scrape, every wound, every cut, each one of those has to be a calculated risk. You must. Yeah.
How did you lose such abilities?
It's something that is too gruesome to talk about right now. But suffice to say that there are certain things that even the gods cannot forgive.
Quite. I must say, I, in some ways, envy your abilities even now. But I do not envy you the loss of something so magical, so precious.
I realized afterward exactly how much I took it for granted. And I just viewed it as something that was a part of myself when it was only a privilege. After I lost it, I didn't know what I was anymore without that part of myself.
Perhaps those abilities were taken away from you to teach you a lesson in humility.
Believe me. I'm sorry, what?
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, Onn, believe me, I have thought of every possible reason for why that happened. I've thought that too.
I do believe that a faith is always a part of ourself, and that even the loss of faith is equally part of ourself. We grow and change throughout life. And abilities are abilities. They're things. They're not us. What makes us is what we do with the challenges set before us. How we survive them.
Eridu, ever the philosopher, can always count on you.
It is accidental philosophy. I just speak, words come out, and apparently they're meaningful.
And so humble.
It's accidental humble. I just speak, and words come out. And,
Okay.
Enough,
If you guys
dilly-dallying.
I think it's a good time for us to start walking down path.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's a similar enough situation where there are multiple branching paths. You probably get the sense that, like, I mean, these were crafted paths, not, like, even the paths themselves are crafted, not like naturally occurring branches or whatever. Instead of being more foresty, there are still trees, but they're kind of more like craggy, and not like craggy necessarily, but like it's not lush forestry, like there are trees, but they're like thinner trees. They're more dead trees. It's the soil is a little harsher in this branch or in this path. As you can,
a wooded savanna, perhaps.
Yeah, like kind of like a wooded savanna of some kind. Yeah. I mean, yeah.
It's as though the ground is more rocky and the dirt is more shallow, so they can't set root in properly and grow to great heights.
Right, exactly. They're
Much
not
like they would at the base of a mountain.
Yeah, yeah. Basically, yeah, kind of like trees at the base of a mountain, or at least trees at the base of a mountain that's not the Pacific Northwest.
Fair point.
Because they survive all. So yeah, you guys, it's a different kind of forest, and so you guys continue on again. The same thing with the slabs that clearly have been moved, based on whatever path that the trial masters wanted you to go on. And so you continue on forward until you come to, it starts to get like a little, not like a huge cliff per se, but it's kind of definitely a raised elevated area. I'd almost equate it to like Lion King, in that it kind of juts out of the ground.
Pride Rock,
kind of situation. But yeah, kind of like Pride Rock. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's obviously not the same shape or anything like that, but it's definitely elevated. So here, I'm going to go ahead and give you we'll do a quick screen share, so I can give you that visual. Okay.
Just a quick bit of metagame trivia there. The lyrics for the Circle of Life, the Afrikaan lyrics, translate to Look, it's a lion. Oh yes, it's a lion. Over and over again.
Well, there you go.
Let's see. Can you see the full screen, or is that?
I mean, I'm resizing it right now.
Okay. Sorry.
It's all good. Oh, we can see it! Yay!
Okay. So this is
I mean, I
the
can
way
see it. I don't care about the stream.
So yeah, like you can see, like I said, how the path is in the brown part is kind of the path that's in. It's kind of you can kind of just basically, this is what the general terrain had been looking like, and then this area right here is just a little bit elevated. The brown is lower than the tan, it's like whatever, not by a lot, just like you could jump down and have a hard landing but not hurt yourself. So it's like 20 to 30 feet, something like that.
So we're coming at it. We're coming at it from the one of the sides here that's got the trees.
Yeah, you're coming in from the south, like the brown part, the dark brown part that
Okay.
kind of ends in like almost like demon horns is the path itself.
Okay, that's where we're coming at it from. Okay.
Yeah, that's what you're coming in at it from. So as you begin to approach it, you see there are two goblins there who are you can see the two skeletons there. The north, they're like the little this one right here.
Word. Can see them.
Yeah. So they're fighting over that. Are two goblins. They aren't fighting over the skeleton. They are fighting over a orange sphere. It's hard for you to know because they're fighting over it, and it's kind of amongst these bones. But they are very intent on each other. So, and I can go back to not screen sharing since you have an idea of. It's up to you guys, but
Sure. Yeah. Let's go ahead and flip back over.
okay. And if you need me to, obviously we can switch back to the. We can switch back.
No, I think we're good with like theater of the mind.
Yeah. Okay. So, So do you guys have any particular kind of marching order? How do you want to approach the situation?
Well, I'll tell my friends stay behind me.
Okay. So you want to go up front?
I'll go up front. Yeah.
Okay. Are you gonna are you gonna go like charging in through that center area, just through the path? Or are you going to?
Not charging. Going to be slowly walking. And since they're very intent on each other, there's no need to engage them directly. I'm going to tell everyone else, like, I'm going to keep my attention on the goblins and advance us toward them, and I'm going to tell the other two, keep your eyes peeled for anything funny, anything magical, anything trapped.
Okay.
I'm gonna look at Alton and say, are goblins a common thing in this area?
We have city goblins who are respected members of our community, and we have, much like kobolds, we have city kobolds and city goblins, and we have wild kobolds and wild goblins, those that have chosen to not enter society.
Yeah.
Can they speak common?
They all speak common. They're, I mean, at the very minimum, semi-intelligent creatures, just like you would find any other goblins or kobolds elsewhere. They just
I see. I haven't talked to many goblins. I can't say.
Yeah, what are the chances that these two are participating in the exact same trial that we are attempting to do?
Can't say. No idea.
Yeah.
You did say each trial is created individually for the people taking it. Could these be part of the trial? Could these be an accident? Could they be an illusion? Could they be a test?
I don't know. That's the whole point. I mean, generally they don't try to do multiple trials at the same time, so it's possibly a part of it. I don't know. Again, if they're individualizing it, I don't know what it is that our goal is, how we're supposed to succeed at this trial.
Do you understand the qualities that this particular deity embodies? Perhaps we could garner some clues from knowledge.
Yeah. So this is the goddess Ind. She is the goddess of the mountains. She has domain over fire, earth, destruction, and power.
There's power in ownership. The orb that we may very well be seeking seems to be in the earth, at least partially.
It might be right there.
The orange orb?
Could be it. Very easily.
Yes.
I have an idea. I think it would be... We could easily engage them in combat and possibly overpower them. Or we could present to them a display of our own power, and perhaps they will recognize that we are greater than they are and step aside. A posturing, if you will.
Very well. So I smack on my shield and give a nice roar, and is that what you're envisioning?
The wind, the tattoos on my arm that mimic the wind start to swirl and flow, and I say, I think I have a different idea. Would you permit me to try?
Feel free.
Okay, so Eridu, do you want to go forward out front of everybody, or are you going to stay where you're at, or how close do you want to get?
I'm gonna walk in front of everybody, but stay close.
Okay.
Within 5 feet of me?
Yeah, that'd be fine. You guys just right behind me in case anything goes wrong.
It's an important thing for you to be 5 feet from Eigner. That's all I'm saying.
Okay. Yeah. Onn, do you have any particular place that you would like to be? Or just kind of like in the back-ish?
I'll stand in a sort of triangular position, so I'll be the rear pin, so to speak. So there'll be Eridu in the middle, and then Eigner and I sort of flanking slightly behind, so that we're behind, but within 5 feet.
And what was the name of this god again? Goddess?
Ind.
Ind, I-N-D.
Very good. Because Eridu would know that, but Asa does not.
Eridu would know nothing. This is foreign land where you've...
Well, we've talked about it a bunch of times.
Oh, yeah. You talked about it. Yeah. Okay, I see what you're saying. Yeah. So, yes. Yeah, that's player knowledge versus character knowledge. So, yeah, you would know that. Okay, so you are kind of in front a little bit. And what would you like to do?
All right, I'm going to approach these goblins in a very postured way.
Okay. Are you now stepping out in front of everybody else, or is the group kind of following?
I'm assuming everyone's following me.
Oh yeah, I'm right behind him.
Okay.
And then I'm going to, when I get within enough distance that they can't ignore me, have to look up and see somebody approaching. I'm going to slam my fist into the ground, just in front of me. And as I do, the tattoo is swirling and raging like a torrent. And when I slam my fist into the sand, all of it just going to blow into the air with this huge, just crash. And looking at this ability, I'm using the Fist of the Unbroken Air, and I'm just pretty much, and it does a knockback thing.
Okay.
So I'm pretty much just punching a hole in the ground, and it's pretty much just using the wind to just boom hit this thing. It's actually the same ability I used to knock the prison door off of its hinges.
Yeah, dude.
Gotcha.
It's fucking
Okay.
badass, Asa. It's fucking badass.
So are you just using it to hit the ground, or are you focusing it?
Yeah, I'm using it to hit the ground just to show how powerful I am physically.
Okay.
And when the dust settles, I'm going to be standing tall with my hand out, looking at the goblins and saying, I have the power. I was going to go with more, but as soon as I came out of the mouth, I went, I got to stick with that. I have the power.
Thunder!
The orb is mine.
Okay. So the goblins stop what they're doing, and they just kind of both look at you, and they kind of have this smile on their face. And
it's because they got the reference.
No, this is not a. This is like a. Actually, go ahead and roll an insight for me.
Okay. That one fell off the table, so I'm going to roll insight with my hero's fate dice. That would be a 17.
Go Heroes Fate dice. They roll high numbers.
They don't seem intimidated at all. They are. This is a grin of like, "Come at me, bro."
Come at me, bro.
So they're just kind of like, I mean, goblins are so weak. They're just regular goblins. What, I'll let you determine how you feel about them, but goblins are weak, man. And they seem to be...
I think this is an episode of Dragon Ball Z happening right now. I'm just standing there, one hand behind my back, one with my palm out, and we're just staring at each other.
And powering up. You gotta power up.
Yeah.
Don't make me start screaming.
Don't make me start screaming and powering up.
Okay, so...
Eigner's gonna look over to Onn and say, like, Onn, is there anything strange about these goblins? And he's trying to do, like, the winky wink, like, can you, like, look at their magicness if they have magic on?
Do you have a spell on that would help?
Detect magic?
That would be an amazingly useful spell. Could I make an Arcana skill check to see if I detect any sort of glimmer or aura?
Okay, go for it.
And let's just double check a little thing, because I want to check the Tides of Chaos. Yep, I'm going to use Tides of Chaos to give myself advantage. Which can't say was necessarily worth it, because I rolled an 11 and a 12, and my Arcana gets +5, so that's a 17.
Okay, and whenever you use Tides of Chaos, you have to roll for the chaos, right? Or is that next time you use magic?
Next time I use a spell, you can ask me to just roll on the magic table rather than risk it. It's like it definitely goes off.
Oh, of course.
Oh no!
I'll
I'll have you risk it.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm gonna have you risk it. I like the risk of it. I think that's much more fun. The tension of it. No, you don't. Nothing seems off to you.
I don't believe that they are utilizing any form of magic, at least not one that I recognize.
Petulant little goblins.
Well, if nothing else is happening, then I am going to... How far away are they?
Currently...
I mean, I walk up to them pretty close. They'd have to pay attention to me.
Yeah. They're about 25-ish feet.
Okay. Then I think if... unless you need me to start rolling initiative for this, I'm going to do a Misty Step, and then once I get right... Excuse me. behind of or in front of one of the goblins, I am then going to stunning strike him. And attempts to just paralyze him. Or stun him. You know.
This step is a bonus action?
Misty Step is a move action, I believe. It could be a bonus action. It's one of those two, yeah.
Let me
I'll be right
check
back in
that
like
for me, would you?
1 minute, guys.
It is a bonus action.
Okay, it's a bonus action.
Yep.
Yeah, okay.
And then my
Go
stunning
ahead.
strike is an attack, so.
Right. So yeah, it's you spend a key point after you hit with the attack.
Right.
So go ahead and then
Okay,
go ahead and attack. You can attack twice, obviously, because you're a thing.
I may not hit with the attack, so I guess multiple attacks. So, okay, my first attack is a 12.
Okay, that you just string over there and you pop in and you take a swing and just you don't understand why, but the goblin just kind of ducks very easily. Doesn't make any sense because you're like this shouldn't be a problem.
Okay.
And so you can go ahead and
My second attack is a
go first.
16.
Okay, so on the second attack, you duck in, but that doesn't give him enough time. You swing around and kick him very quickly, and
well, this is a stunning strike, so both of them are just quick pops to the throat.
Okay, then go. Yeah, you pop, and he dodges out of the second one, but he doesn't have enough time to react on the second one. So
he now needs to make a 13 con save and be stunned if he fails it, and I need to roll damage.
So he just like takes it and just
and that's 8 damage.
He just handles it no problem whatsoever.
Okay, so he takes a shot to the throat and just kind of shakes it off.
Yeah, basically.
Sorry about that, y'all.
So what damage? Okay, let's go ahead and while we do that,
8 bludgeoning damage.
Roll for initiative.
Okay. Hiya! Oh man, Eigner is the hottest dice roller in the world.
Oh man!
Look at that big one.
Big one.
I'm gonna hold it. I'm gonna hold it up right next to my -1 to initiative.
Right. So that's a 0. Okay.
Mine's a 10.
Eridu is okay. So Eridu is 11, and that's total.
Yep.
Okay,
that was
and
pitiful initiative. Absolutely pitiful. You should be ashamed of that. I got a 5.
I compared to all of you, I'm typically very ashamed of my abilities with dexterity.
Okay, so and which one did you do? The one on the right or the one on the left?
We'll say the one on the right. It really doesn't matter.
Okay, the one on the right. Okay, and how much damage did you do?
8.
8. Okay. He seems to have taken that fairly well. The damage fairly well.
Did you stun him though?
I didn't.
No, he did not stun him.
Bummer, dude.
It is one of the things I realized for building towards character and not towards optimization is that I don't have wonderful things.
Okay, so it is now Alton's turn. Alton goes ahead and commands Domni to go ahead and hold on, see if I can pull that off. Nope,
Attack!
I cannot. So she goes off to the side, or actually in between each of them, essentially. And come on now. And then Alton kind of basically rushes forward and goes ahead and does his attacks. So and then. Okay, so Alton goes in and swings on, goes in and kind of just rushes up on the first one and swings in and kind of like slices a little bit the ribs of the first one, slashes the goblin noting his presence, also very easily ducks back, and then Alton uses that opportunity to slice in and to slice in. Just very quickly hoping to just do as much as he can. So he doesn't seem to do a whole lot of damage. It is now the goblin's turn, and the goblin on the left suddenly there's this like kind of like popping and like just like moving and shaking and just grows. And he grows from being a goblin to being a giant beast that looks kind of like this nasty nasty almost demonic wolf without the with a short snout and just like terrible teeth.
You didn't pick up on this, Onn. Why didn't you pick up on this, Onn? I'm sorry, continue.
Certainly a feeling of mine.
Because it's not a spell, it's an ability. So all of a sudden he's right in front of he's just right in front of Alton and just this big beast, and he just stands just mighty and imposing in front of Alton right there. And that's it for his turn.
I'm gonna smile up at the goblin and say, I knew there was more to you than met the eye. Doubling down on the 80s references, guys.
Okay, so Eridu, it is now your turn.
Run away!
Surprise round, you got it first. The first one was the surprise round.
I'm going to eat a marshmallow in response.
For your turn, you eat a marshmallow.
That is my turn.
Stunning.
Stunning marshmallow attack.
Stunning marshmallows.
So, do they both turn into the big things, or just the one?
Just the one currently, because it takes it. Yeah, just the one currently. You have one that looks like a goblin and one that looks like a giant, just disgusting snarling beast.
All right. Which one is close to me? Is it the snarling beast?
No, it's the goblin.
Cool. Then I'm going to swirl out my other hand. By swirl out, I mean like the wave tattoos will start swirling down that hand and come to life at my fingertips and actually be water. By the way, the wind tattoos are completely gone, and I'm going to whip this this string of water around the feet of the big guy, and then just yank. And he's within 30 feet of me. He has to make a dexterity 13 saving throw.
Okay. Quick question before I forget. Your strikes are magic now for the purposes of attacks?
Where are they?
I just remembered.
I'm trying to check that. I don't think that's yet. No, I'm pretty sure that's not 5th level. I think that's a little bit later. I think it's 8th level.
Okay. Just wanted to make sure.
I know it's pretty early in the class, but I don't think I'm there yet.
Okay, that's fine. So then what was the DC?
13 dex.
13 dex. Yeah, he passes. And so what were you attempting to do?
Trip him.
It was the ability for the water whip. So on a failure, you didn't fail, so that doesn't matter. All right, apparently nothing happens on a pass.
Yeah. He just stands his ground. You're starting to recognize that this is not like
Don't tell me.
these are clearly not goblins, so the rules for goblins don't apply.
Which is why I went for the deck save.
Yeah.
Just the DC is not very high. All right.
Yeah.
I've got this thing wrapped around his leg, and then a second later it just dissipates.
Yeah.
And then I take a step back and go, well, this is not going as well as I had hoped. And that was my action, because that was the...
Was that an attack action? Because I think
is-
you still
that
get
is-
a bonus action if you...
that is an action. You would
Okay,
use
so
water
but it's not an attack action.
I mean, I do have a
okay.
bonus action, but I'm not going to use it for anything.
Okay.
Oh, I guess because I'm not a key. Well, I could punch. Okay, that's right. I can do an offhand punch. Might as well punch the goblin closest to me just to make it a thing that is successful.
Be
Let's do this.
successful.
I rolled an 18. So,
A natural 18?
yeah.
So go ahead and roll damage.
All right, plan B, and I'm just going to go and punch the goblin for 4 damage.
So successful.
Mm-hmm.
So again, still like you hit him. It's not quite as. It's still like you didn't get a strong hit, and
It was like a distracted, just backhand strike.
Right. Yeah, and it's still like less effective than you were hoping even then. So, okay, and then the same thing. So now the goblin in front of you kind of turns into that giant snarling beast again. I'm not
Okay.
showing you the pictures because I figure you guys don't want me to mess with that for just seeing
Yeah.
the picture.
So both
yeah,
of them
again-
are giant. That's great.
No, both of them is these giant, just snarling, just spiky hair, demon like wool things. And they are in front of you, and they are large. They are not medium. They are large creatures.
Yeah.
And they are in front of you.
Uh-huh. So that takes that one's entire turn?
Yeah. It takes an action to change shape. Yeah. So, on. It is now your turn.
So, just to quickly recap, this goddess is mountains and fire?
Yeah.
Okay, right. In that case, since we're on a mountain, let's add some fire.
Yeah.
I am going to use Chaos Bolts and hope against hope that I get fire damage, because that's my most damaging thing, but also has a chance to do fire. So, I will respond to. I'm not going. I must have missed something. Allow me to correct that mistake, and I'll stick by Eigner's side while hurling a Chaos Bolt at them.
Okay, which one?
You got this.
The one on the right or the one on the left?
If memory says that the one on the right is the one that Eridu's next to. Yeah. I will go for that one so that it helps Eridu out, and it's one that's already partially damaged as well.
Right.
So
they're both partially damaged, not by a lot, but they're both partially damaged.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's still damage.
wait, no. I get +7 to that because it's a spell. Pew pew. So that's 17.
That hits. Go ahead and roll your Wild Magic Surge.
Yes.
Oh yeah, that just barely hits. Yeah.
Okay. No, I rolled a 9 on the Wild Magic Surge, so unless you want me to roll the centile for thing, but you said
No. No.
Okay.
I like to play things straight.
So it's 2d8 plus 1d6, and I'm casting it as a 3rd level slot, so I get an additional 2d6.
Oh,
Yeah.
what type of damage is it?
He doesn't find out until he
type is
rolls
determined.
it.
Oh,
Yeah.
the type is determined. Okay.
Yeah,
So
so
you're
I've
doing
rolled. I've rolled a 2 and a 3 on the d8. So here we go. If you roll the same number on both d8s, which I didn't. Hold on. Make a ranged spell attack on the hit. Choose one of the d8s. Number rolled is damage. 2 and 3 is cold and fire. Let's try fire. So that is 5, 6, 11, 12, 13 fire damage. That wasn't a great roll, but still better than nothing.
Okay.
The fire damage
So you hit
came
him with
through.
you hit him with fire damage, and he just boom smacks him dead center, and just like in between his, because like he's 4-legged, and he just smack dead center, and he just and he sees you.
Wow.
He takes a hit, but once again, it is not what you were expecting.
Protect me, Eigner.
Don't worry, I will stop them.
So that is so yeah, there you go.
That'll be my turn. I don't think there's anything else that I can do on my turn that's useful.
Okay.
Eigner.
All right. So I'm assuming that my move action is enough to get me to a space that's right in between the two of them, because that's where like Domini and Alton are essentially, right?
Yeah. That's actually 25 feet is to get in between them. Yeah.
Easy. I will get right there so that I'm within melee striking range of the both.
You are
of
in
them.
melee striking / defense for both of them now.
For sure. Okay, so I will be going a little crazy on them, just a little bit. So my first action is, well, I'm going to do an attack action, and I get to do 2 attacks with 1 attack action. So my first attack is going to be trip attack against the one that what's his butt just hit.
Okay.
Good old what's his butt. Onn.
What's his butt?
Onn just hit. And that's probably gonna miss because that's only a 10. So if I call using the superiority dice, do I have to spend the superiority dice if I miss?
No. You only call the superiority dice
if I
after
hit.
you hit.
Okay, well that's good. So my second attack will be to do the same thing on him. Yeah, it's a 20.
Is it nat 20?
It's a nat 20, dude.
Okay.
Okay, so that's going to be my trip attack against him. So that's going to be 2d8 plus 1d8 for the superiority die. Right? That's got to be it.
No, because like some of them don't. The superiority die doesn't do damage. It just.
Oh, the trip attack it does.
Okay, cool.
It certainly does.
Is there a DC of that?
Yeah, it's 13 for a strength saving throw. Oh, it's gonna be great.
Oh.
Dude. 15.
You have a magic weapon. Okay.
Yeah, I do.
So.
Yes, I do.
So you hit them. So on the first one, again, you guys kind of tend to have a problem hitting them at first. They're very elusive. So but you, Eigner, are the tactician that you are.
Mm-hmm.
You have seen this, and so you're aware of this. So what you've decided to do is you go in and you feign an attack on the first one, and it doesn't hit. Mm-hmm. But then you use that against them.
Yeah.
And you like cut in and you just slash into his legs and hit him hard, and he goes face first into the dirt.
Hell yeah! So
go ahead and roll damage.
It's 20. It's 23, dude. 23.
23.
I rolled an 8. I rolled a 7. I rolled a 4. Get to add 4.
So you double the dice and then added 4,
and then
right?
added the superiority damage. Yeah.
Well, all dice are doubled.
Even the superiority dice?
All dice are doubled.
Really?
Fraginator was even pointing that out in the chat. Yeah.
That's
oh, dude,
that's
I totally
why paladins are so great, because their smites are all doubled.
Oh, Eigner once was a paladin. Oh, that's funny. All right, so that's gonna be 29 damage.
Okay, 29 damage.
That's incredible.
For the sake of argument, he can go back to being a paladin for a minute, and you can use a spell slot.
That'd be so dope, dude.
Smite damage.
That'd be so dope, dude. Okay, so then check this out. I took a feat called Shield Master, which means I get to do a shove with my shield against the other one that's adjacent to me as a bonus action. So that's going to be an athletics check against his athletics, I think. And that is going to be 12 on my end.
Okay, his athletics versus your athletics.
Yeah.
12 you said?
12.
Okay. Okay, so then I would just add strength. So no, yeah, he's able to withstand your withstand the shield.
Okay, well in that case, I'm going to take even more time on my action and use action surge and then get 2 more attacks on him.
Okay.
Shit, that's probably not going to hit. 16 AC?
No. Go ahead and give the other one.
Okay, so that is going to be a 23 versus AC.
Okay, so yeah, again on the first one, you're
I do
you're
the same.
doing the same thing. You're doing, you're in order to ensure you get at least one hit, you're swinging first and you're feigning first and hitting on the second. So go ahead and roll damage.
All right, so this one's going to be my goading attack. No, menacing. Going menacing. I'm trying to make him afraid of me a little bit. So that's going to be 11 damage, and that's a Wisdom saving throw, DC 13. And if he fails, he's so afraid of me. He's frightened.
No, again, these guys are big and tough and scary, and they do not.
Punks.
They do, yeah. You knocked him prone, by the way, on the trip attack?
No, so the one on the right, I knocked prone and did hella damage to. And then I tried to shove the one on the left, and then when that didn't work, I attacked him and hit that one.
Oh, okay. Hold on then. I thought I didn't hear that part.
I was splitting it up between the two of them.
Okay, gotcha. That's my bad. Okay, so the one on the right though is knocked prone.
Yeah.
And
after I knocked him prone,
took a little damage.
Yeah, exactly. After I knocked him prone, cool. I focused on the other guy.
Okay, cool.
All right, so that's my turn. I think I did everything.
Yeah,
that's
your turn. That is,
do.
You did a lot. These giant dog creatures are for sure a lot are taking much bigger hits from you than everybody else. Like, you're the warrior. You're just
fucking them up, dude.
Yeah, you're just messing them up. You're just fucking them up bad. No one else seems to be doing quite as well as you are. So
I'm cool with that.
Yeah. So we shall move back up to the top. It is Alton. Alton's turn. He's going to tell Domini to move to the other side of the creature. So he has flanking, and he is going to cast. This time he's going to cast Hunter's Mark. This time around, and then he's going to attack twice. So, and he gets advantage. So that one, and okay, hits on that one too, barely. Okay, so yeah, he goes in, and this creature that's in front of Alton has become a little distracted by you now, because Eigner is just come in the middle and hit them far harder than they had clearly expected. And so, shut up.
I will not. I will not shut up.
Okay, and again, like I said, he's whittling down a little bit, not doing a lot of damage, but he's attempting to. It is the creature here is not a fan of you, Eigner. You've been messing him and his buddy up. While he's taken a little bit of damage from Alton, this is shrug off damage. He's like, whatever. Like, you're just, I'll deal with you in a minute. You've been messing them up. His face is in the ground. Your
I thought the one on the right was the one that was first in the initiative count.
no,
Oh
the
wait,
one
no,
on
I
the
got it
left
mixed up.
is
That one. Okay, I had it like flipped around.
correct. So he's going to. Oh, but he's but he's.
The one on the right is prone, next to
Right.
Eridu.
But would he still be considered engaged because he's prone? He's not like unconscious or anything, so he's still engaged, right?
Sure.
I'm gonna get a second opinion from other DMs. Like, what do you guys think?
Do you mean in terms of having an ally nearby?
In terms of having flanking.
Oh no, not for that. No.
Okay.
Yeah, because it's not. They're not presenting a threat. Not a viable threat.
Okay, that's fine by me. That's why I wanted to get a second opinion. So he's going to take a couple. You're facing him, and he's going to take take his shot at you with
Bring it.
he is going to he goes ahead and attempts to just like lock on to you with his bite. He comes down and like that, and you just in time put your shield up, and he's a large creature, so his claws are over your shield, and he's trying to wrest it away from you, and he can't, and eventually you pulled your shield free.
Hell yeah.
You are happy that you got your shield arm back.
Hell yeah. Oh, hell yeah, dude. I will be singing the halfling's praises for the rest of my life. Thank you for saving my shield arm.
Right. Okay, that is all he can do. He does not. He is currently fully fixated on you. He doesn't feel that much of a threat yet. So, it is Eridu's turn.
All right. Well, I'm gonna take my advantages where I can get them, and I'm gonna go up to the move up to the one that is prone. He's still prone, right?
Yeah. He's still prone.
I didn't think he acted yet, and I'm gonna give him a good solid stomp. We'll try to curb stomp him into the sand.
Oh, babe. Oh,
okay.
Wow.
All right.
That's too much.
Yeah, 2 shots. Oh man. Apparently, walking is not Eridu's strength. Because I've got myself a wonderful 9 and an 11.
That's total?
Those are both my rolls. I rolled a 9, and then I rolled a 3 plus 6, then I rolled a 5 plus 6.
Oh, okay. So, and those are your primary attacks, and you're going to stomp down?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, just because you're prone doesn't mean that you will just sit there and take it.
Oh, but I have advantage because he's prone.
Exactly.
Right. Yeah.
So hold on a second. This is different. Oh, okay. One of those is gonna hit.
Okay, what's the?
It's a nat 20.
Oh, okay, then yes, that clearly hits.
The other one is a 10, like a total 10.
So again, you stomp down on the first one, and it doesn't. He misses. He rolls out, and then the second one, you change your tactic a little, and you go ahead and hit him.
Yep, for a whopping 11 damage.
For total?
Yeah.
Including critical hit?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
I only rolled a 6. If I actually hit with my multiple attacks, it's great, but when I miss with a bunch of them,
Right.
So many things I can do.
Okay. He is, you hit him, and you clock him, like, right in, like even though it's not a massive hit, it's still not doing a lot of hit. These constant barrages between you and Eigner are starting to wear on him. He's starting to feel it quite a bit. So, yeah. It's observable that he's starting to feel that. So it is now. That's the end of your turn. You still have bonus action and movement.
bonus action was a second attack, and I moved up to attack him because he was not the one closest to me.
You're not. I thought you had multi-attack.
I only get 2 attacks though.
Oh,
I don't have.
I think
You think I'm a higher level monk than I am?
Yeah, I keep on. Yeah, because I keep on thinking that you're. I think it's just critical roll because
It's also they get the unarmed strike. What they have to use a key point, not the unarmed strike, the flurry of blows.
right. So
I've-
you do right.
I've used all of my key points, so I can't flurry of blows anymore.
Gotcha. Okay, so then you are, so then you're done, and you're not going to use any movement.
No.
Okay, cool. So then it is the creature's turn now.
So he has to
He
stand
is
up.
starting to look very frustrated.
Yeah.
He knows he's in a position where, like, he's starting to look at the both of you, and he's starting to get into a very frustrated position right here. He is, though, he stands up, obviously, using half his movement, and he is going to unleash on Eigner. So, but, actually... Okay. Yeah. So yeah, he's going to go. He's going to
Bring
go
it,
ahead.
bring it.
Actually, no, he's not. He's not going to do that. He is going to all of a sudden. I'm sorry. All of a sudden, he just kind of disappears really quick. He just like bamps out from in front of you, and he moves, and then all of a sudden you guys look, and in that grotto, he's actually towards the trees in the southwest, in the southeast corner. He's at the edge of the trees in the southeast corner. He just boom pops out from there and moves, and he's all of a sudden much farther away.
Mm-hmm.
And he just stands there. He's just kind of like breathing heavy and just like trying to compose himself a little bit.
Interesting.
And it is now Onn's turn.
On! After him!
All right. I shall. So how far away would it be roughly?
4, 5, 6, 30 feet.
30 feet. Then I shall. I've got a decent range on Chaos Ball. I'm gonna run right up next to Eigner, making sure
Okay.
that Eigner is between me and any violent clawed beast. And then I'm going to hurl another Chaos Bolt at the escaping one.
There you go.
Okay. Okay, so yeah, go ahead and then roll me your attack.
Okay, so that's an 18 plus 7, which is 25.
Okay. You launch your Chaos Bolt, and it hits him, like, you know, it's a solid connect. Kind of like hits him a little bit in the face. So go ahead and give me your...
Both my D6s, D8s, sorry, were 7s. So that...
Do you get to choose your
is-
damage type? Is that what
I
that's all
assume
about?
not, because... hold on. If you roll the same number of
So
both D8s, the chaotic energy leaps from target to target. No, it's basically
Oh.
whatever it lands on. Psychic.
Okay. Go ahead and roll me your psychic damage. Or what's your psychic damage?
So that's 14. Add 6. So 20.
Okay. You so 20 total.
Yep.
You just send this like bowl of psychic energy, and it hits him in the head, and it just like it brings up its claws and it reels back, and it just
Doesn't like the
And it
psychic
goes-
energy, dude.
kill that. He says that clearly to the other creature.
Wow.
Eigner, save me!
I got you on. I've got you. Don't worry.
So yeah, it is now Eigner, it's your turn.
Okay. Well, let me go ahead and get an attack action happening against the silly one that's still standing up in front of me.
Mm-hmm.
Boom. Oh, that's so money. That's 26 against his AC.
Yeah.
And
First one that definitely hits.
I will be using the trip attack, so you can go ahead and make a strength saving throw DC 13.
13, you said?
13, I said.
Huh?
It's 13.
Okay, yeah. You're starting to realize these are not stupid creatures. They are much smarter than their goblin.
I mean, they don't have to be stupid to fall down. They just have to
right, but just
succumb
let me
to my
finish the description.
slashing.
So they're starting to anticipate your movements.
Okay.
He's starting to anticipate, oh, well, no, they're making feigning attacks and whatnot, and he's trying to trip us up and everything.
Word.
So they're starting to adjust their tactics.
Word.
So,
in that case, that's still 18 magical slashing damage.
Yeah. 18, you said?
18 magical slashingnesses.
Okay.
And then I will do my second attack just as a more mundane, non-superiority dice type thing. And that's going to be 23 to AC. 10 more slashing damage. So that's a snicker, snack. And then I will do my shield master shove. So I'll just try and bash him with my shield and try and get another thing. So it's athletics versus athletics, and I roll a natural 1.
Yeah, he destroyed the crap out of that.
And that'll be nothing else for my turn. I'm going to make sure I am still in between this crazy big thing and Onn Thenois.
Yeah, and you absolutely are. So so the creature, again, so he doesn't move on the first one because he's gotten used to the idea of you using that first one as a feint to try to use the second one as a major damage. So he's willing to take that first hit in order to stop you from taking major damage. He just didn't anticipate that you were changing your tactics up a little bit this time. Yeah. You're a smart fighter. You know that you can't do the same thing over and over and over again. You've got to keep them on their toes. No. Stop it. I'm busy. So he does take that damage, but then he's quick. You can see that he's quick to react even in this situation. So recognizing he's getting hit, taking that damage, but seeing that you're coming up for the shield as well, he drops his shoulder and just resists your shield bash and just
Word. Punk.
Yeah. So, it is now. That was just you.
Mm-hmm.
So it is now Alton's turn. Not really sure of what to do. Alton is just going to continue just to try to whittle this guy down. Alton's aware that he's not really big on attack. That's not his job in the party. So he's just going to try to do what he can to kind of help Eigner just whittle this guy down. So he's going to make his 3 attacks at advantage. Okay. Okay, that's a thing that happened.
Yep.
Okay, so that's fun. Again.
Is Alton doing anything good at all? I can't tell.
You'll see in a second.
Okay, we'll see.
Hold on. Sorry, one more. And then one more. Okay, so that is okay. So the creature was so the creature again is distracted by you, and even though Alton is not like doing a lot of damage, he is for sure just like he's taking advantage of the fact that this creature is focused on you and on Eigner.
Mm-hmm.
And so he just goes in and just like uses full force and just lays waste into you. And what was a creature that was also starting to look worn down is now like starting to like feel the pain. Is starting to feel the like, is starting to really wear down, and Alton just cuts deep into him, despite this very tough creature.
Mm.
So yeah, it is not looking great for this creature.
The trial of power.
Yeah.
It's going down, dude.
So this creature is it is now he kind of assesses the situation and recognizes where they're at, and so he too blinks, but he blinks much farther.
Mm-hmm.
He is essentially or he's starting to get almost out of view. He blinks and blinks back in, and he's in the southwest corner. He's going down the path. And then so he's right at he's near outside of view for you guys, and that is his turn.
Mm-hmm.
It is Eridu. It is your turn now.
Eigner, you said that in a combat situation you are the one who is in charge, correct?
Yes.
Do we pursue, or do we take the orb?
You take the orb. I'll focus on this one that's still here.
All right. I'm gonna go and grab the orb.
Okay,
Might
you grab the orb.
A suggestion, fellows, that perhaps letting a rather dangerous, not city goblin seeming creature go down the path towards where we are going, but also where we know a sacred altar is to be, surely that's a bad plan.
Alright, then grab the orb, let's chase, and I'll cover our back.
Sound.
Okay.
The orb has been grabbed.
Yep, the orb has been grabbed. It's actually within 5 feet of you, so it's like right underneath Eigner. So you're able to just grab it really quick. As soon as you touch it, this like you feel this like explosion of energy, as if you were a volcano yourself, just erupting and just spewing lava all over the place, and rocks are flying all over you, all over the surrounding, and you're causing these ash plumes all above you. You are the manifestation of destruction in this moment, and you feel this sense of just before, whenever you put your hands in there and put the hands on the ground and you tried to intimidate the goblins, what you thought were the goblins at the time, you get the sense of like you were that but bigger, that you would have had that feeling. You get that feeling again, but instead of it just being that feeling of hitting the ground, it was that feeling of hitting the ground, but then the ground shaking. And the second feeling kind of dissipates after a while, but that being a volcano feeling maintains as long as you're holding it. If you decide to put it, if you can put it in your backpack if you want, or
So Eridu picking it up and feeling this just sense of power, and he, I mean, it's kind of good he doesn't have his Misty Step ability again, because he would have in the moment immediately wanted to interact with the Feywild. But even his eyes are mirroring exactly what he's feeling.
Right.
And he's standing like just tall and firm, and I'm thinking like the Galadriel scene when she's offered the ring.
Yeah,
And-
when she's getting high on that ring shit, dude.
and he's just, every part of his body is tense. And he sets his jaw and he looks at the orb and he says, "You will not have sway over me." And then starts to walk toward the end of the path. Just like he's holding an object that if he were to drop it, it would destroy everything.
Okay. Are you going to? Do you have any more key points?
No, I tapped myself out at the very beginning of this combat.
Okay.
Classic.
So you're using just your 40.
Of my movement, yeah.
Okay. Are you going to use an action to dash?
I'm probably not even moving that fast. I'm probably making sure that I stay
Within 30 of
The
me,
group.
at least.
Yeah, because I know that.
Well,
I
if you
don't
okay, so if
home-
you're not moving that fast, because Eigner's pretty far back. So here, let's put you back here. So you want to see if you're staying within 30 of Eigner, there's no way you're coming close to catching up with. This guy is like.
yeah, I'm not.
This
trying
guy
to
is like
double up.
probably about 100.
Yeah,
feet
yeah.
away
No, we're
from
not.
you
We're not
guys.
trying to split up and chase this dude. We're trying to stay together, and I'm trying to cover our exit because
So
as
we can
far as I
return the
know,
orb.
yeah, so we can return the orb. And as far as I
Okay.
can tell,
But this guy is
still there.
going down the path of.
Yeah,
the path
one is, but you said another one's still around.
Correct. So are you going towards the other one that's still around? Then
We're not going like
Eridu?
towards him necessarily.
No, Eridu is gonna start to make his way toward the altar so he can return the orb. Understanding it does have an allure of danger to it, but
Okay.
he's not going into such a rush that the rest of the party has to try to keep up with him. Like if they need to go finish off the other guy, they can. He'll still be walking,
Okay.
But I'm
So
not
then
going to get
you
myself
won't
so
move
far
the
away.
full extent of your action, but is
Yeah.
there anything that you want to do with your turn other than move? Do you want to ready an action? Do you want to?
Right now, my whole action is just holding on to my concentrated will to make sure this thing cannot overcome me in the way that it did Eigner.
Okay. It is this guy's turn. So then this guy is going to. Okay. So then this guy also goes pretty fast and pretty hard, and he dashes out of the scene. He is now basically down the path and kind of now a little out of sight, especially where you guys are at. You're you're blocked by the woods, so you can no longer see
Okay.
him at all.
All right. So in that case, we can easily just drop initiative order for the moment, and Eigner is going to start trotting in the direction from whence they came, and he'll look at Alton and Domni and say, "Alton, with me. You two.
Okay.
Back rank."
So then, yeah, Alton and Domni then get, or Alton gets on top of Domni, and so that way you can go like match your speed, and they're just gonna match whatever you go.
Yeah. So
Um,
I'm not like exhausting myself, but I'm definitely not walking. You know, I'm just kind of trucking it and moving. And I think Onn and Eridu, you're fine to trail just a little bit. You know what I mean? If we come upon them or get ambushed, I don't want you guys to be directly within the shit per se.
I don't know. I feel better being close to the person providing disadvantage.
Well, I mean, you can be like maybe 15 feet behind me. If we get into a combat situation, you can scoot up, use your movement to get right up next to me.
That's true. I've also got my Misty Step available, so
For
I
sure.
could just like bamf next to you.
Right?
as a
Yeah,
bonus.
exactly. That'd be a good call. Okay, so
Okay.
yeah, that's pretty much our situation. We are somewhat on the pursuit, but also just trying to get back to the altar as quickly as we can, and that's our marching order with Alton and I in front.
Okay. Okay, so Eridu and On are behind you guys a little bit, and On are just a little bit, not like by like 20 feet, but like maybe 10 feet or so.
Yeah, let's say 15. To be safe. Yeah, that's
Okay,
a
15
good
feet
it's
behind
good
you
distance.
guys, and then Eridu and On are there. Going back, who's on what side? Like, because you're going down the path. If you guys are going abreast, 2x2.
I mean, I am actively putting all my attention into the orb and into my own willpower, so it's whatever's happening around me is not registering.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, gotcha. I'm assuming Eigner, then you're like trying to keep your head on a swivel.
Well, yeah, and I'm counting on having Alton right next to me so he can like cover that side and I can cover this side.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Okay. And On, you are.
I'll be keeping pace with Eridu. So if we're having to pick a facing, then if the path is running east to west and we're running westward on it, judging from the map that you threw up before.
Right. Because it's
then-
kind of curved, so just left or right.
Okay, yeah. So I'll be on the south side if we're running westward. So if we're running to the left now, I'll be on the.
So you'll
the
be to the left of Eridu, and you're looking
Yes.
left. Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
So-
Okay. Cool.
So I think that might be a good place to take our break. We're just about at 1:30 here, and that's a nice
Okay.
little cliffhanger-y type thing to leave it on.
Okay.
So
Don't
cool.
do it there, because I'm gonna get attacked from something jumping from the trees in a minute.
Well, look, Misty
We
Step.
want the suspense, Drew. We want you there, like, man,
Suspense.
what's gonna happen next?
First
And
of
then we
all,
want to like be like every single J.J. Abrams show and disappoint.
sure. I'm great at disappointing people.
Sorry, Abrams. I do still watch the things that you put together.
Word. Well, yeah, we're gonna go
me
ahead.
and me and Jay are pretty close, so he's gonna watch.
Yeah.
this.
Dude, for real though. For real.
Totally.
You're gonna
For real.
burn me like that, in front of all these people.
we have one of the 6 viewers that we have is J.J. Abrams.
It's
Yep.
true.
Yep.
Yeah.
Thanks for
Tell your
watching.
friends.
All right,
See you
so
soon.
yeah, we'll get on our break and we'll see you in about 10. Yo, hope to see you for the
Yeah.
second half.